What is charge? You're going to hear a lot about charge. Charge is rather important in chemistry. But what is charge? Let's start with some basic information. There are two types of charge, positive and negative. There are two rules about charges. Like charges repel one another, opposite charges attract one another. So, what does this mean exactly? If two positive charges are brought close together, they experience a force which pushes them apart, that is, repels them. Similarly, if two negative charges are brought close together, they will also experience a force that pushes them apart or repels them. The closer together that two charged particles are, the stronger the force between them is. When two oppositely charged particles are brought close to one another, they experience a force that pulls them together. The closer these two particles are to one another, the stronger the force is. Now, at this point, you're probably saying, okay, Mr. Donald, we know the rules, but what is charge? Stay with me. We will get there, although you might not be too happy. Now, let's imagine that an alien has just landed and you are trying to describe certain things to him. Or imagine that you're trying to describe things to a small child. It's really not that different. If you're trying to describe a wolf to him, you might say, well, a wolf is an animal, it's a mammal, it's got 4 legs, tail, it hunts in packs, and various other descriptions of the wolf. Similarly, if you were to describe a car to the alien, you would describe that it's a vehicle, its job is to move people from one point to another, it has 4 wheels, uses a combustion or gasoline engine to get around, and there are many different types of cars. With both of these, the wolf and the car, you are using lots of other ideas to describe these two different objects, these two different things. But what about something like blue, or round, or smooth, or even handsome? Blue, round, and smooth are basic or foundation concepts. They cannot really be described by other ideas or concepts. To teach a child or alien what blue is, you can only point to blue. Round, you show round objects. Smooth, you allow them to touch smooth objects. Charge is also a basic concept. It is something intrinsic to some particles. That is an essential and natural aspect, such as with protons and electrons. Protons have a positive charge, electrons have a negative charge. What we call these charges does not matter. We could just as easily call positive negative and negative positive. The rules would still be the same. We could call the charges Bob and George, or bleh and blah. These are simply labels. The rules of charges are always the same. Like charges repel, opposite charges attract. Charge is basic and intrinsic to some particles. We see the rules of charges and how charged particles interact. The names are irrelevant, but we use positive and negative. Like charges repel, opposite charges attract. As I said, you might not like our description of what charge is, but this is the best we can do.